Yes, I'm in here chair dancing to the theme song. Hi, and welcome to Pillow Talk with Angela. I brought back my good friend, Dr. Daria Hamrah. He's a triple board surgeon and he does plastic surgery. He does all kinds of things to make you look and feel better. And today he's our special guest. Let's welcome. Hi.
Hey, Angela, good to be back.
I'm so happy that you're back. And, you and I talk about a lot of things off camera and off
Yes,
mic.
we do.
And I thought, you know what? Let's just bring this to the masses. Um, but first of all, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I had a very busy clinic, and what we're going to talk about is something I talk about every single day to my patients. And a lot of education, a lot of myth busting is part of the educational stuff. And I have patients that come with all kinds of questions and concerns. They have done research about a lot of stuff that they
Wow.
are interested in, and so for my job is always to put some perspective and context within their problem, and that's I love doing that.
You know what? And I love that you do because, like, many of us, we're on social media all the time. I am constantly getting things and it circulates so much. And because we spend so much of our time on social media, it's hard sometimes to,
What
figure out what's fact and what's fiction. So I come to someone who is a triple board certified professional. I figure, all right, Dr. Daria knows a little bit more than Instagram. So,
you
like,
know
so one of the things I know I brought to your attention, as well as I'm sure many other people, I am, constantly, I'm a health nut. I try to eat right. I try to keep myself together. I exercise and, I don't want to look tired. I'm, whatever age I am, I just want to look young and good. So there's constantly these email or not emails, but Instagram posts about facial yoga. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I mean, they're pretty convincing. They have these beautiful women on there. They're doing all this stuff and, exercise always seems like it's a good idea, but what are your thoughts on facial yoga?
well, it's always, I think we live in a time where, just like you said, people always try to be proactive now, right? So in the past it used to be, I had patients come 10, 15 years ago to fix the damage. Now they come to me and tell me, hey, what can I do to prevent the damage? Which I love. This is what we've been striving for and educating patients for the past 2 decades, and now finally people are coming with the right state of mind, with the right type of attitude, and right motivations and intentions. The problem is, though, it exposes them to stuff that might not be scientifically proven and might be gimmicky, or unfortunately, we live in a world where there's good people and there's bad people. It is what it is, and these people are fall prey to some, either not knowingly or knowingly with not good intentions, and trying to take advantage of the situation, right?
Yeah.
So I think ultimately it's a warning sign for all of us to, or wake up call for all of us. At the end of the day, we're our own best advocate, and just we should do our research instead of falling for something that sounds too good to be true, and don't just do it because it appears to be easy and it appears to be
Free.
straightforward and it appears to make sense, but then if you look at it scientifically, it's actually could be bad for you, and that's why people easily fall for it. And so one of them being facial yoga, right? And the problem with that is people, it's almost like confirmation bias. People argue that, well, this is a 2,000-year-old Chinese tradition, and my neighbors that are Chinese, they look great. She is 60, she looks like she's 40. Well, there is, when someone argues like that, they don't have much context. They understanding facial aging and the difference between facial aging within different ethnicities,
Hmm.
and even between two siblings. I mean, you can't really compare, and you can always find evidence to support your own beliefs or theories. That doesn't mean it's necessarily scientifically proven, and That's what
Interesting.
clouds the whole picture, makes it too difficult for people to forget about understanding, but even to have an open mind to just listen someone, maybe a professional out, that actually their job is to correct facial aging. So
And
I'm
it's funny that you say that because I remember you and I had a conversation about it, and you said, we're going to let you say what you're going to say about it. But I told one of my girlfriends who is really into it, and her esthetician suggested that she do certain exercises. And I had to go back after you and I spoke and say, I mean, so there are a lot of people who are just misinformed.
right. Well, even estheticians, look, I mean, it has to do with the depth and the amount of your training that you have.
Mm,
And the depth and the amount of your training and background allows you to have a certain context and perspective within all of these things. So I have an esthetician myself, but she comes and asks me all the time whether something is good or bad, because she knows her limitations, she knows what she can comment on, and she knows what I'm an expert in, so she consults me.
mm,
And just like, even though I'm a doctor, I'm not an expert in cardiology, so I'm not going to give advice for a heart problem to my patients, or I'm not nephrologist, and I'm not going to give advice on a kidney stone to a patient. I know a little bit about it to tell them you need to see a kidney doctor,
how
but
about that?
I'm not going to tell them start massaging your kidneys because I read it somewhere online. You
Right.
know,
So let's talk about your area of expertise, and
yeah.
it's this this is your universe
Well,
right
I
here.
think that my board certification says it all. Facial cosmetic surgery and maxillofacial surgery. Maxillofacial is a fancy medical term for the science and art of the face, including the facial bones and the soft tissues. So I do anywhere from reconstruction of the face, whether it is due to an accident, whether it's due to a tumor or cancer, whether it is you were born with a defect like cleft lip and palate or facial
Mhm.
deformities, anywhere from that to aesthetic and cosmetic surgery, which is someone that just wants to rejuvenate their facial appearance that has aged due to the normal aging process. And
Mhm.
so that's another art and a science. And so I'm specialized. I mean, I went to school for 15 years just to understand and be able to treat not just the diseases and reconstruction of the face, but also rejuvenation. And I'm teaching it now, and I'm writing book chapters about it now. So I've immersed myself in the past. Now it's like, I don't want to sound too old, but 25 years into the field, and I'm still learning. Right, we're still finding out new stuff. And one of the things that is really that there's a lot of science and studies out there about is, for example, we see patients that come with wrinkles around their eyes and with puffy bags and hooded eyelids and droopy eyebrows. We know scientifically that what accelerates that aging process is patients. We have that science from contact lens wearers. People that wear contact lenses, they tend to rub their eyes a lot because contact lenses, they dry out your eyes. And when your eyes get dry, you start rubbing them a lot.
Mm.
So we know from that population that they get premature aging, and it's because they're stretching the skin constantly through rubbing. They're loosening the retaining ligaments. There's ligaments that attach from your skin, attach your skin and your muscles to the rim, which is the bony part of your facial skeleton, to suspend things. So when you stretch those out, they start drooping, and you
Yeah.
have that aged look. So we
Right.
have that science. And another thing is wrinkling of the skin. Why do we do that Botox? We do Botox so we don't animate the face a lot. So we don't animate the face, we get less wrinkles. So here there are these self-proclaimed facial yoga experts
That's right.
say, yeah, do these facial animations, like they give these exercises. I can't make those faces, it kind of looks weird, but basically you exercise your entire face. Well, I just had, after my post I put on TikTok and Instagram, I had multiple people say, "Oh my God, thank you. I was wondering why in the past 2 months I got got all these wrinkles around my lips and my eyes because I've been doing these exercises.
Wow.
Wondering, I'm like, oh my God. I mean, now I have these live feedback from people from all over the world. And that's another thing that actually I didn't expect, but it makes total sense. But that's despite of the science that's out there. And then,
And
Mhm.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but clearly you're qualified to talk on this subject. And I'm so happy that we're talking about this today because, again, people think, well, it's exercise. Your face has muscles just like the rest of your body. So,
Makes total sense,
you know what I
right?
mean? So it logically,
And
it
it makes
makes total sense. So let's break it down. We were looking, anyone who is on IG, you can see some of the things that they tell you to do. They're like, just what you were saying, the moving, they want you to slide,
slide
move
and then
it
make this
up.
up. Do this,
Yeah.
and then stretch. I mean, it's the very thing you're not supposed to do. Our face is not designed to do that. I mean, nature leaves clues, right? We don't make these faces in nature. Our face is not meant to do this grimacing. The grimacing of our face, from an evolutionary biological standpoint, is there for communication. Our
Yeah.
facial muscles, they serve communication, to communicate whether we're sad, happy, we're anxious, we're afraid, we're threatened. It's meant for communication. It's not a muscle that serves to lift up a cup of water or to start moving or running away from a saber-toothed tiger. It's not meant for movement of
It's
heavy
not
physical.
natural.
Even
Yeah.
physiologically, these muscles, they're as thin as paper. So they're not designed to be bulky or bulked up. Quite on
What
the
about the
contrary.
one? There was one where you lift your head up and then you're supposed to jut out your chin and like
Yeah, there's all kind. Yeah,
stretching your neck and under here.
I mean, it blows my mind. It's funny though. The irony is, it's not surprising because just like you said, you think like, well, I work my other body part muscles out, so then it must be good if I work my facial muscles out, right? I mean, it completely intuitively make complete sense. But
Yeah. Like, look at what Yvette just wrote. Hi,
what?
Yvette.
What's
She
that?
Yvette just wrote, "Oh my, I've been doing the vowel Yep, I heard about those too. I've
Yeah,
been doing the vowel exercises, trying to look ageless and timeless." Yep.
it's. I mean, it's. I'm so glad, and you know what? The only reason why I came out with these posts is that um, I felt this sense of ethical duty almost,
Yeah.
to say something. I didn't want to poop on anybody's party, right? But then I have patients come to me and they have these premature aging and they tell
We
me,
want to
I've
know.
been doing facial yoga. I'm like, oh my God, like
I
for how long?
mean,
And
yeah,
and
it's
so that's unfortunate.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And it seems to be increasing, everywhere
Oh,
you look.
absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
I was even watching Shark Tank
Yeah.
recently. I love that show.
Me
And
too,
there
by
was
the
a
way.
woman, right? I love Shark
My
Tank.
favorite
And I'm
show.
always rooting for the people to,
Yeah,
get
I
it.
know, right?
And this
Who's your
woman,
favorite, by the way, in Shark Tank?
hmm?
Who's your favorite in Shark Tank? Do you have
uh,
a favorite or?
I like, what's her name? The QVC woman.
Oh well, I know who
I
you mean.
love her.
Yeah,
I love her.
my favorite is Robert. I think he's very kind. He's very empathetic,
Yeah.
and he's never like mean to them.
Yeah.
And so I
Damon,
like
is his name Damon?
Damon. Yeah, Damon. I like him too.
I like him too.
Damon has a good heart. You can tell, like
Yes.
he wants to help. I love
Like,
Damon.
he's no nonsense though. If
No,
he
no,
looks
no.
like you're trying to,
Look, you don't become successful because of nonsense.
they're
So,
sharks.
so I respect that.
They're sharks.
Yeah, I respect that.
Wonderful is my least favorite, but he's probably everybody's. He's like oh wait, okay. So here's a question, Mary. Hi, Mary. That's my cousin. I think that's my cousin Mary.
Besides
Besides
water, what
her,
be another non-invasive thing we can do to help our facial skin? Good nutrition, eat well, right? A lot of nutrition, in addition to hydration, and also UV protection. By UV protection, aka sunscreen. But again, us being in front of the monitor here right now, we get exposed to what's called blue light. and
Oh,
blue light causes also facial aging,
it
and the
does?
same has the same effects than the outside UV light. So for people that are under fluorescent light a lot, or even on their phones a lot, or in front of monitors, you should put sunscreen on. Period. Okay.
So, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
So
you
if
need
you're in
to.
front of your computer every day,
Oh,
like most
totally.
of us
Yeah.
are,
I mean,
sunblock.
yeah, but you don't, there is these powder on sunblocks. You don't have to wipe your makeup off after 2 hours. Just use the powder on, and it makes it easy. You can put it on top of your makeup.
And a
Okay,
lot of
that's what,
moisturizers come with the
of
SPF.
course, yeah. But the problem is you have to. It only lasts about 2 hours. The effect, you have to reapply every 2 hours to be protected, and
Oh,
also avoid the chemical sunscreens that have chemical agent, and only use the mineral based one. The mineral based ones are the best, because the chemical ones, they get degraded through UV by absorbing them, and those degradation products, they they're really unknown. And as far as their effects on our body, we know that now from some animal studies they could cause infertility in men and so forth. So you be really careful. That's why you should always consult your doctor, your dermatologist about these things. Don't just get something off the shelf and put it
yeah.
on your face.
I'm just so happy you're here. I mean, because as a lot of not just the women, I'm sure, because guys, we all want to look good and refreshed and hold on to our, a youthful glow as much as we can. And so, I'm so happy that you're here and that we're live and that you're talking to us about just the
Yep,
reality
of
of it
course.
all as it relates to the facial yoga. And we're just focusing on that mostly
Right.
today. Is there anything good about it? Are there any exercises for your neck and face that you can do that is actually helpful?
Um, the short answer is not really. Uh, to dive a little bit into it, is that
Okay.
we're focusing on the wrong thing. The
Mm,
focus is on the wrong thing. If you really want to do good, start with three things. Okay, forget about facial yoga. I don't understand why. I know I do understand, just because it makes you feel like you're doing something, and it's
yeah.
easy.
It's easy and it's
There's no, you
good.
don't have to change your lifestyle. You just do something and it makes you feel good. That's why people do it. It's such an easy sell, isn't it? But
It
when
is.
someone tells you change your diet or get more sleep, they're like, well, that's not possible. That's not
Right.
possible. I mean, I have to do this, I have to do that. I can't do this. Well, all of a sudden it becomes complicated.
Yeah.
And also it's, we're creatures of habit. And now someone tells you no more pizza, no more burgers, no more hot dogs. Like, wait a second, slow down here. I'm supposed to eat like a rabbit. That ain't gonna happen. So it's a harder sell. So
Mm.
then what do people do? They still want to make themselves feel good about themselves, like they're doing something, and they look around, and then all of a sudden on their next feed, facial yoga. Oh, great, I could do that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that 50 times a day. Well, guess what? You just fell victim to, gimmick that
And we're
actually
going to have to
works
call
with
down
everything.
Daria for a facelift.
Yeah, I mean, you should read some of the comments, like, oh yeah, he's probably saying that because he's a surgeon, he wants to do your face. I'm like, no, you didn't read my caption, and you didn't listen to what I said. I said you will be seeing me sooner if you do facial yoga.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm just letting you know. And there are doctors that they actually care about their patients, and to me, it says a lot of things about whoever made that comment. But people, unfortunately, are very cynic, and they're very, I guess, um, there is this in the past 10 years. I would say there is this. Um, as doctors, we've lost a lot of the trust factor that we had with people, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And it is due to unfortunately due to social media, etc. But ultimately you just got to find a doctor you trust, and then if something makes sense to you, but don't try to like block things and be a complete cynic, and then question everything any doctor says and try to rub some herb on your face if you have cancer. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not going to work.
Yeah. And, I certainly appreciate the conversation because, again, there is a lot of misinformation out there. There is a lot of self medication. Some holistic things are good and some are just not.
Of course.
Some are very good and some will do more harm than good. It sounds like facial yoga is one of them. Yvette is touching on something that we're going to talk about the next time you come on. So I don't want to go into the whole thing right now, but she does say we're going to talk about like some of the things, other things that people are
Yeah.
taking collagen and all that stuff. I don't want you to really deal with this in
Yeah.
this conversation because that's what we're going
Sure.
to talk about next time you're on.
I love that topic just because there's a lot to talk about.
So
So I
Yvette,
guess stay
come
tuned.
back. We're
Yes.
going to talk about all of that.
Stay tuned.
But
That's a great topic.
in the
Yeah.
meantime, in
Mhm.
the meantime, Dr. Daria, once again, give us the three things that you want us to do instead of the facial yoga to just take care. I heard one was
You're not
sunblock.
going to like it. You're going to hate me.
No, we're going to love you in the long run because we appreciate the
So,
truth.
so hydration, you already said that. Hydration. Drink plenty of water, okay? And you got to monitor your water intake. Get yourself one of those jugs that fill it up in the morning and make sure at night it's empty, okay?
Now, when you say the water, how much? I mean, it used to be 8 glasses. How much does it depend on the size of the
So it
person?
depends
Or
on your activity level, right? So if you're sitting around all day, um, you know, 8 ounce, I mean, 8 glasses is kind of like the minimum, right? That's the minimum. The science is a little all over, but that's the minimum. Ultimately, the more the better. Okay, the more the better. As to your activity level, I mean, if you're in an office that's very hot, or if you're moving around a lot, obviously you need more, right? So,
you can use your
but
common sense.
common sense, right? As far as nutrition, have a balanced diet. I'm not talking about you know eating lettuce and carrots all day long, right? I mean, you need your proteins, you need your fats, you need your fibers, so you need your nutrition as far as the basic nutritions like vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B. I mean, you need to, and all that information is online. Just Google balanced diet. It's that simple. And you can figure out and pick the foods that you like, that you're actually going to eat, that you actually look forward to. But don't eat junk. Don't eat processed foods. Don't eat high sodium. Basically, if you eat out a lot, that food has a lot of sodium content because restaurants are smart. The more sodium you put in food, it's food enhancing, it's taste enhancing. So it makes that food taste better. So they can sell more. But so if you eat out, you have to be aware that there's a lot of sodium that goes in your body. So you wake up in the morning with puffy eyes and everything is puffed up, or your shoes don't fit, or your watch doesn't fit anymore, is because you probably have a lot of sodium that retains a lot of water. So that's that. Balanced nutrition with low sodium intake, no processed foods. Try to go plant-based as much as you can. That doesn't mean you can't eat a steak, but try to limit it maybe once a week. Fish is great. Omega-3 fats are great. So balanced nutrition. And then the third one is sleep. Most people don't get their 8 hours of sleep. And they argue like, oh, my dad always, or my grandmother, she lived to be 96 and she only slept 5 hours a night. And well, it doesn't matter, first of all, we don't know the accuracy of that statement. Second,
Right.
you're different, so it's a large gene pool. But ultimately, you need 8 hours of sleep. Okay, I don't care who you are. You need 8 hours of sleep.
That's
Unless
great.
you do those three things, do not worry about face yoga. Do not worry about anything, because if you don't do those three things, nothing I do actually will work. And even if it works, it will be very short period. A year later, you're going to look the same. So you just wasted a lot of money. So my goal for my patients is to educate them about these things, whether I do a procedure or not, because I want them to be able to benefit from the results for a longer time, because ultimately their face, the way they look, the way they feel is my reputation, right? So that's what I like to educate, that I'm passionate about.
Well, thank you. And Dale disagrees. But like you said, a lot of people are going to hold on to the values and hold on to the facial yoga. If you want to hear the truth from someone who is more than qualified to speak on this topic, I wanted to bring in Dr. Daria Hamrah to tell you not only that it's not a good thing, but to break down why. And so, Doc, thank you for doing such a great job at that.
Thank you. One more comment though that I forgot to mention. One of the things that people think about facial yoga that they're convinced it works, because anytime you animate or you do massage of your face, it temporarily increases the blood flow. It increases the blood flow to the tissues. When you increase the blood flow to the tissues, it swells them up slightly, not swollen like puffy, but on a microscopic level, it swells them up because increasing.
It looks like
things look tighter, things look more vibrant, but that's a temporary effect. It's like you can slap your face a couple of times and you will, or pinch your face. Some people do that to get a little blood flow to make, it look like they have some color. That's increasing the blood flow. So temporarily it makes it look good. So that's why they easily get convinced, oh no, I did facial yoga, it works. Look in the mirror, it works.
Yeah.
Here's the proof, here's the evidence. The problem is I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about the long-term effects, which you will see after years and decades, 5 years, 10 years from now. That's what I'm talking about. So that's where the arguments, they kind of miss each other.
Yeah, I like it. Hey, maybe face slapping is going to be the next trend.
Oh, I remember my grandmother used to do this. Before there was an event or something, she pinched her cheeks to get a little.
Oh yeah, a little color in your cheeks.
Yeah, that's what people do, and that's the effect people talk about. But anyways, thank you so much for having me on, Angela.
I'm so happy to have you, and this was really educational for me, and I'm sure all of the people who are watching right now. And we're going to just leave this up so people can,
absolutely
watch it over and over. Thank you so much. Can't wait till the next time we do some myth busting. I'm sure you're making some friends, and some people just don't want to believe it, but
I'm sure making some enemies, but I care about people out there. So to the people that don't believe me or feel threatened, I'm sorry. I'm just here to give out the science, not my opinion. So
exactly. There you go. I'm here for the science. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angela.
Right. Oh, you're so welcome. See you next time. Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
You got to tell people who. Oh, and Mary says thank you. Tell the folks who want to be in touch with you. Maybe they want to come and get
you can reach out to me on my social media handle on Instagram at Dr. Hamrah, DrHamrah, or at Real Face Doc on TikTok. And you can DM me questions. If you have any questions, if you have more in-depth question, I can do a virtual consultation or in-person consultation. And the link is in my bio. So if you want to reach me or schedule a consult, you can just click on my link in my bio on my Instagram or TikTok. Very simple to get in touch with me.
If you can see his name right there.
Or you can Google me. Yeah,
just Google him. It all comes up. That's good stuff. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, Angela.
You're so awesome.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. That was some good information. I mean, some of you were ready to hear it, some of you not. But, if anyone, again, is qualified to speak on it, it's a triple board certified plastic surgeon. And he makes faces in particular his business. So I so appreciate him being on. Yeah, he's someone I would personally recommend. If you have any questions, just hit him up. He's right there to talk to you. And thank you again for following us and for being a part of Pillow Talk with Angela. Follow me on all platforms at Angela Stribling, and you have a great night. Bye.